If you have a child at home, whether it's a preteen, a teen, or even a young adult, you know that they are glued to their phones. Joining me now is Katey McPherson from the Gurian Institute. We always love her being here because she knows all there is to know about apps. And today we're talking Apps 101, staying in the know for parents, because there's always a new app that kids get involved with. But there are a couple that are really concerning because kids are actually location sharing. Talk to me about why that can be a big problem.
There have been many apps that have GPS-enabled location services, but SnapMap just came out and parents are really concerned about kids sharing location. So obviously you're sharing with your friends, but if you don't know the people on your friends list, although you think you know, you're sharing with possibly people that may have ill intent.
So a lot of kids have Snapchat on their phones, a lot of adults too. It's fun.
Right.
But this is why it can be a problem, because with the Snap Map, you can actually tell people where you are. People can see specifically, so if you're in your house, even in your room, I mean, it's very exact. Talk to me about how that works for parents who maybe are not familiar with it yet.
Well, again, you know, Periscope, a lot of apps have this capability, but Snapchat is the most widely used by teens for sure. There's like 6 billion users or something crazy. So when it shows the house, it shows the location. It might show where they are at school, if they're at the ice cream place. So not only is it from a predation standpoint, but you're also talking about a friendship standpoint of exclusive behavior, like we're going here and you weren't invited. And so every time a student opens the Snap Map, it shows your location. So if you check your snaps and then turn it off and check back in and you're at a different location, it's literally tracking your every move.
Well, so Snapchat does not have parental control, so what can we as parents do?
It's tough. I mean, there really isn't much you can do unless you're following your kid on Snapchat and they don't want you to follow. And so you really just have to have open and honest, courageous conversations with them and really sit down and show them how easy it is to create a profile using someone else's photos. For example, if I were to go on your profile because you and I are Facebook friends, I could steal photos of your son and create a profile and say, I'm 14, my name's Scott, I live down the street, and I could be tracking your daughter, I could be tracking her friends, because you and I are friends. So it locates friends of friends as well.
So there is a setting there which is called ghost mode, which will disable that ability to locate where they are. So if you have any problems figuring it out, just go to YouTube. There's always a video for something. Let's talk about Yellow, because I read up on Yellow last night and I could not believe that this was even in existence.
Right. Well, app makers are banking on teenagers being the largest consumers. So where can they meet people? Where can they meet people that they're interested in? It's the teen version of Tinder. And so this is basically a hookup app. You know, kids will tell you, oh, it's just fun to meet people. But it's also, in its essence, the swipe left, swipe right. It's that instant gratification of who's out there, who's better, who's this, who's that. And so it's also increasing anxiety amongst teens about who looks better, who has this, whose body looks better. So it's got a twofold issue with predation and hooking up with people that are older than you.
Yeah, people that are older, not necessarily the creepy old man, but it could be, you know, the 17-year-old around the block.
I've had plenty of students in the past being 12 talking to 16, 17-year-old boys. A lot of parents are not comfortable with that, and not that those boys had ill intent, but definitely there's an age gap there and a maturity gap for girls and boys.
Well, I know you always recommend that we should, as parents, know what apps our kids have on the phone, and if you are making sure that those kids are not having their phone in their room past a certain time at night and they put it in another room, then you have the ability, obviously, to go on and check on it. I want you to talk to me a little bit about negative baseline, negative baseline that kids are using, to talk about their personal issues. They're almost using social media like a diary.
Right. It's their voice and it's their outlet and it's not going away. So really educating them on awareness of, if you're posting every day that you're having a really bad day, or you have a child that has really low self-esteem or is struggling, or is just a teen going through those years, what they put out there, definitely to a predator, that's an easy target. If I see a girl saying, you know, I'm having a bad day, they speak much more inappropriately than that. But she's an easy target. That's somebody I can lure and groom pretty easily and start having a conversation with her. Oh, you're so beautiful. And that's how these things start.
When you say lure and groom, what does that mean exactly?
Having direct message conversations with students and with kids about, I really like what you look like, let's meet up sometime, and just the slow progression of trust building with a person that you think you know that may be a 14-year-old boy, but is actually that creepy 55-year-old man down the street. So it's really dangerous when you're putting yourself out there, and they're looking for, they spend all day looking for negative self-talk. Who's an easy soft target?
So much out there that we need to know. We need to stay in the know. If you want more information, she's a wealth of information at GurionInstitute.com. Thank you so much for being here. As always, great information. Thanks. We'll be right back.